Right, what's good, family? What's good? Hope all is going great and manifesting everything that you desire. Welcome to our Feed Your Soul 2026, demonstration talks, informative sessions, tap ins, whatever you want to call them. Today, I will be demonstrating two foods local to my region. And this is the case because I feel as if we should eat the foods that are growing around us at all times because they help you survive in your environment. But also because I believe food is a fuel to your journey. So I believe wherever you're located right now, that's not where you're always destined to be. And with that, I believe food should be always eaten in the most natural state, meaning not farmed. It should be wild, not cultivated, none of that. It should be wild, growing, ready for you to pick off the bush, tree, vine, whatever is growing on. So both of these things aren't wild, but one is. But these are the first two things that are available to harvest for the, real new year in my region, which is a subtropical temperate deciduous forest. Now the first is a wild food that's native to this region, untouched, just grows in abundance. Beginning of the new year, so what I mean by that is when the cold dissipates and we start seeing the green on the trees again. So the first thing is, many of you may not have heard of this, but mulberries. Now these are a tree berry. They don't grow on a vine. They don't grow on a shrub, a bush. These are tree berries. So they, when things grow on a tree toward the sun, they are high in electrolytes. Now these are really good, especially when they turn black. Now they start off red, so when you eat them red, it'll be a little sour. But when you eat them, wait till they get a little ripe. Like they say, the darker the berry, the sweeter the juice. They be hitting. And these really just picked a few minutes ago, locally. Got a plug, hitting. Tear these things up, you don't feel full. Now the second thing, now y'all familiar with this? Y'all know what this is? Some strawberries. Picked these myself also, but these were not growing in the wild. These are actually farmed. Local U-Pick farm. Picked these fresh. So these are our first two fruits of the season, of the real new year, I should say. And fruits, I feel like we are fruit eaters. I feel like, vegetables, starches, of course, meat, all those sorts of things that's not natural to our body. So I'm a believer that we are strictly fruitarians, frugivores, however you want to word it. But fruits are what we should always look for when we want to get the most nutrients and treat our body with the best fuel. Because there's a lot of different things in nature, but that doesn't mean everything is for you. There's different kingdoms, and we are the human kingdom, HUE. We are non-ether beings, melanated. So we want to eat to live. We need to eat live foods, and this is that. These two things here, first of the season, and also something important with these fruits that I just showed you, the mulberry and the strawberry, is that they align with the number one on the energy centers of the body. So you have seven different energy centers. So we're going to start with number one, which is your roots or your base. So when you think of springtime, you think of, that's when people planting seeds in the ground, getting ready for, get their land together for farming so we can enjoy the harvest of the summer and, fall, whatever. But for the root or the base, for the human body, it says a base of the spine, which is your coccyx. Now the color associated with that energy center is red, and it says the secondary color is black. Now, what did I just tell you about the mulberries? They red, then they turn black when ripened. So this is just basically you listening to the environment around you, the world around you is telling you what you should eat to build your body. Just like we prepare that soil, put the seeds in it so we can get that fruit at the end of the season. This is how you should prepare your body at the beginning of the new year with red and black fruits. You see what's going on? So what's the color of the strawberry? Is red, and one is a ground fruit and one is a tree fruit. So it's keeping you in balance. When you eat the tree fruit, your mind expands. You start thinking esoterically. You start thinking about what they call it, metaphysical stuff. You know what I'm saying? And when you eat the ground fruit, you kind of reel yourself back in with Mother Earth. Cause I'm really deep on metaphysics and all that stuff. I'm not no expert, but I'm always a deep thinker. So when I eat these two fruits, it keeps me in balance. It keeps me doing what I need to do, the work I need to do. I'm not too far in the sky with my thoughts, and I'm not too grounded, and I'm not just a dense physical being stuck to Earth being, affected by so-called gravity. So, red and black, beginning of our new year for number one. So number two is your root or your base, and number two, this is your sacral plexus, and the color associated with that is orange. So we'll get more into that later, but what I want to emphasize is just listen to nature. Whatever is growing around you, that's what you should be eating. And eating foods outside of your environment, that means you need to basically move to that environment to get the most nutrients, get the most benefit from it. Because if you eating watermelon in the wintertime, it's gonna be tough for you, especially if you outside a lot. You got too much liquid in your system, You wanna do during that season where I'm at, you kinda wanna fast. There's nothing really growing around you. Like they say, with the animals hibernate and the plants go dormant. And we listen to nature, our lives would be so much better. But yeah, I just wanted to share that with you. And one more thing with the food is the fuel for your journey. So wherever you're located at right now, I don't feel like you should be confined to that. I feel like there's no end to the world. I feel like Antarctica is just the farthest, the sixth ether, melanin recessive, European. That's as far as he has been. So that's all they can talk about when they, in this academia, in this academic language, in their institutions. But I feel like there's a world beyond that we have the ability to access. We just have to be in line with our environment, get all the nutrients we need from our environment. So environments with the most nutrients would be a tropical environment because that's the most conducive to life. So I feel like you have to have that tropical tune-up, getting that warm year-round fruit that's, abundant, and the land hasn't been altered as much, more wild stuff in your system, the most life is warm weather is conducive to life, Where I'm at, we're almost tropical, but we're not quite there yet. So that's just a whole spiel, but more on that on the next episode. But just want to let y'all know, eat your harvest. Eat your harvest. Keep it live. Don't indulge in too much. I'm not telling you what to do, but cook food. There's no pots and pans in nature. When you cook your food at a temperature above 135 degrees, you're changing the chemical structure. So you're changing the nutrient. Or you're killing the nutrients. You're changing the chemical structure. You're killing the nutrients out of the food. Because nothing in this known world lives above the temperature of 134 degrees, which was recorded in Death Valley, California. So we just align it with that, you know. Just think, if you look at it that way, keep it simple, life will be, work in your favor. So feed your soul. 2026, we'll hit you again soon. Peace.